Hey guys, my name is Miracle Pearsall and welcome to my official YouTube channel. This is very, very new for me, so I'm asking you all to bear with me and just kind of go with me as I travel on this journey of just showing you all just a little bit about the things that I'm passionate about, how God has blessed me in my life, how sports have transformed my life, and just a lot of cool content that is going on in my head that I want to bring to you all. And so that's how this YouTube channel was birthed, and I knew that I had to start with this story time. Basically, I'm just gonna sit here and tell you literally about how God blew my mind, specifically in the last 4 years, especially financially. But I would be remiss if I didn't give you a little background as to who I am. I love Jesus. I'm a recent 2019 college grad. I graduated from the Liberty University, located in Lynchburg, Virginia, the largest private Christian school in America, and in the world actually. I got a BS, Bachelor of Science degree in sport management with a minor in psychology. So I'm not going to deter you any longer because I really want to get into, telling you all just how amazing God is and just how he blew my mind in the last 4 years alone. At the end of this video, I want you to be able to, 1, trust God more, and 2, increase your faith. So everybody knows college is not cheap.
Yeah, you can say that again.
I don't care where you go. If you're not, well off, you understand the struggle of how hard it is to afford college and scholarships and different grants and all these different qualifications. It's a lot. Liberty University is not cheap. Let's go backwards around end of fall 2016, the start of spring 2017. That would be my official sophomore semester, or sophomore year, excuse me. I owed Liberty a lot of money. A lot. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna show y'all how much money I owed Liberty. Just look at it. Now, I don't know who your mom and dad is, or, what your income is, whatever, but I know we didn't have that. And I didn't have that kind of money sitting around then, and I've never had that kind of money sitting around at all. So what, trying to trust God through that was just probably one of the hardest challenges of my life. Imagine you're at home trying to celebrate Christmas and you're also freaking out in the back of your head, am I gonna be able to continue school? Especially at a place that you feel called to and that, you felt led to, and God has shown you favor, and you're just okay, why would God call me to a place if he was just gonna let me leave it? At that time, that seemed like such the right question to ask, but I'd already answered the question, because where he leads you, he provides, okay? So that was the biggest lesson that I had to learn in this. So mind you, I think I was a little bit more scared because of the fact that not only did I owe Liberty $7,200, I only had 20 bucks in my bank account at that time. And so, mind you, our faith has always been stretched and tested, and props to my parents because their faith never wavered. They were such a steady rock for me during this time because, I'm a baby Christian. Even though I've known God and had a relationship with Jesus for a long time, I never try to pretend I've arrived, because I haven't. Literally every day is a process. That's the number one thing when you choose to accept Jesus. You have to understand that this is going to be a process, and you might not get it all the time, and you might not make the best decisions all the time. So long story short, it's literally the week before I have to move in, and I have to decide okay, are we gonna walk by faith and drive all the way back to Lynchburg, knowing that I have no housing secured, no meal plan, no classes, okay? I had nothing except a $7,200 deficit and $20 in my bank account. But when I tell you, that was probably the most invigorating experience of my life. Granted, at nights when I was alone, it was a lot, but it was step by step God was showing me, Miracle, I got you. Prime example, Liberty has these things called Flames passes, and That's how you like swipe in and out of the buildings. This is a Flames Pass. So you tap it on the door or whatever, and it's supposed to open. Now, if you were listening, I had no secure housing, so this was not supposed to work. But let me tell you how God works, okay? So your girl hops off the car. Mind you, I kept everybody aware of my situation the whole time I was going through it, because I'm like, you know what? Like, regardless, like, I want y'all to see how God works, because granted, I was professing all this faith, but internally, like, I was scared out of my mind, because I'm like, all right, Jesus, now, like, all these people are watching, like, you can't just, like, go out here and embarrass me. Like, I don't want people to think, like, oh, wow, she had all this faith, and God just, like, literally left her high and dry. No, because that's not the kind of God that he is. So I get out of our car, and literally, my parents packed up the whole car, and we're all, like, looking at each other and hugging, and it's like,
okay,
we're here. Like, what do we do next? So I walk up to the door. My parents are like, all right, go walk by faith. Like, they literally was telling me to go walk by faith, because, like, my housing's not secured. So I literally could go up to this door, and if it does not turn green, I will be embarrassed in front of all these people out here waiting for me to open this door. I walk up to the door, and literally my heart is, like, beating out of my chest. Like, I'm sweating profusely. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, what if I get to this door and it does not open? So I'm walking or whatever, get to the door. Mind you, there was like a family that was in front of us. So I'm like, okay, let me be slick, because like, if it doesn't work, then I can just like slide in with them. If you go to Liberty, you know what I mean about sliding in after people at Commons, especially when you don't live there. But anyway, I waited for them to go in, and then I tapped my Flames Pass. And y'all, guess what color it turned? It turned green. Literally, I have never been more happy in my life. After that, it was like a spiritual high at that point. So I'm like, you know what? God's got me, okay? Like, he turned this card green, or kept it green, whatever. And now I'm able to get back in my dorm. So sometimes you just gotta swipe by faith. And that's what I was doing. I was just swiping and swiping and swiping and whatever by faith. Mind you, everybody was fully aware. I let my RAs know. All of them knew that your girl was walking by faith. And it was cool because, like, there was a lot of people that came up to me during this process, and like, they're just like, the fact that you even drove back to Liberty without having anything secure is like a true testament of faith. But like, they didn't know that like I was freaking out, and you know, I was crying, and those emotions like were hitting me at the same time. But at the end of the day, I always have my parents to come back full circle, like, Miracle, like, just trust God. He's gonna help you through this. Now, again, my meal plan did not work, but I have some of the most amazing friends ever, because literally all of them offered their meal plans to me. I never had to like spend my $20 that I had left in my bank account. I had a job on campus, but I could not work at that job until I became an official student for that semester. They knew the process that I was going through, and they were super supportive. But I know deep down, a lot of them were like, yo, this girl is crazy. Like, why is she here? Like, why are you here on this campus and you have no classes? So, mind you, I missed the first full week of classes. So, according to like financial aid rules, if you miss like the first week of classes, like, you're officially, like, your enrollment drops. You're supposed to be charged like each day that you're in the room, that you're overstaying your welcome, as they say. Like, now, I was there a whole week, okay? Almost 2 weeks actually, because I missed the whole like first week of school for the spring semester. And the ad drop week ends on that Friday. So that's the last, like, the deadline is like 4 p.m. on that Friday. Excuse me, it was 5 p.m. at that time. On that Friday that you have to register for your classes. Now, I already knew what classes I needed to take. You do that the semester before you plan for the next semester. So it was just a matter of, I just needed the funds to get out of the situation. So I'm not in any classes. Like, I have friends in classes text me information. Shout out to y'all too, because they gave me notes. So it was almost as if like I didn't even miss any class. Like, it was just God. In and out of like the financial aid office, student advocate, like all these different people like, oh, we can give you this grant and give you that, like, but it's not going to cover everything. Like, you're still going to you have to come up with this amount of money, like, you know, to get registered. And it was still astronomical amounts of money that I did not have, and I could not pay. So I'm like literally freaking out, and I'm just like, Jesus, please, please, please help me. Like, I'm reading my Jesus Calling devotional. Like, everything throughout that season was on point, and like every single day my devotion was on point, and it said everything that I needed to hear. And it was kind of like a faith push, but still it was an internal battle for me, because I was wrestling with the fact that like my mouth was speaking faith, but like my heart was like so far from it. And God really had to like humble me and kind of like quiet me and call me to be still, so I could like really like see like the flaw in my faith or trust in him, because I wasn't truly trusting in him. I was putting on a facade to make it seem like, you know, I'm super spiritual or super faith-filled. Like, it wasn't genuine at first, and God really had to break me, because he's like, look, either you're going to consistently have faith in me, or you're just going to not have faith at all. Like, there's no in between. Like, he doesn't like lukewarm. He doesn't like that in between, that back and forth. Like, today, choose which side you're on. Are you going to trust me, or are you going to continue to like think that you can do this by yourself? And so it wasn't, honestly, y'all, until that Thursday night before the ad drop deadline is when I completely surrendered over to God. And I said, look, God, you know what I need. You know these deadlines. I came here out of just strict obedience, and like literally, like, this was not on my radar. This is what you wanted for me, so you provide, and I'm going to trust you every step of the way. So again, at 5 p.m. that is the cutoff. There's no adding classes, there's no dropping classes, there's nothing. Like, that is the official cutoff. So I'm literally sitting in financial aid talking to people, and I'm just like, look, I literally was about to like apply for another loan, like, just because I'm like, okay, like, this is what I need to do. And God's like, why are you doing that? Like, I didn't ask you to go out and get a loan. Like, I asked you to trust me, and I got you. So I'm sitting in the office at financial aid. So it's like 3 o'clock, right? I'm in there talking to this lady. I get a phone call, and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm sitting in financial aid. And they're like, okay, just call us after you finish. All right. 30 minutes go by, right? So it's like a little bit after 4, they call again, and they're like, come to us right now. And so I just felt like this urgency, like, literally got a text message like, come now, like, come. And so I got the urgency, and I'm like, okay, I'm coming as fast as I can. Get there, and I sit down, and like, there's all these people here, and they're all like smiling and like looking at me, and I'm just like, okay, what's going on? Like, why'd you guys call me here? Like, it was really awkward. If I was like an intervention, it's like all these important people in one room. And so she's like, hey, like, we know about your situation, and like, we wanna like help. And I'm like, help? How so? Like, wow, that's really nice. Like, what do you suggest? Like, is there anybody you can connect me to? Like, no. We wanna offer you a scholarship for such and such amount. Which, mind you, y'all, not only paid for my balance from the fall semester, but it gave me enough money to make a down payment on the spring semester that I had already missed 4 days of. And I'm hugging everybody, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Literally, I am bawling, I'm shaking, I'm bawling my eyes out. Like, he knew exactly what I needed, but he didn't give me exactly what I needed. He gave me what I needed and then some. Like, I wasn't even thinking about, you know, like, oh, well, after I pay the balance off from fall, I have to also make a down payment on spring. God thought about all of that. Like, he literally blew my mind. I owe this astronomical amount of money that I knew I didn't have. And just the roller coaster of faith that I was, and that God still showed up even in the fact of, like, you know, my doubt. He still like took that, you know, that mustard seed of faith and that stance that I took that night before, and he literally blessed me in a matter of less than 24 hours. That's how quickly God can move. So I don't know who's gonna watch this video, and I don't know what you're facing, I don't even know if you have a relationship with Jesus. Like, I'm not here to preach to y'all, but I just want to be like a living witness so y'all can see like God like really works. Like, it's not like, you know, a Nutrisystem thing, like you get on this plan and like, oh, like all these different things to get results, but like it's a relationship. There's ups and downs, and sometimes you doubt, sometimes you lack trust, sometimes, you know, you go through things that make you want to, you know, not believe in that person, but God never fails and he's always consistent. And I just want to tell y'all, like, trust God and trust God with your finances. God knows everything that you need, and he knows like when you need it by. Like, he's aware of your deadlines, but he doesn't operate on our schedule. And that's like one of the biggest things that I'm learning. So that's how I wanted to start this YouTube channel, just by encouraging you all's faith and just encouraging y'all to trust God with your finances, because literally, like, he will blow your mind. People are not your source. Like, whatever connection you think you have, those are not your source. And if you grow a dependency on those things, like, you will find quickly that they fail you. Whatever you're facing, trust God. Let him take the wheel, okay? He got you. Like, don't worry. Like, it's gonna be okay. So that's all I got for y'all. All of my social media info is in the description below, so please feel free to follow me, email me, DM me on any social media, message me if you need help or have any prayer requests. Until next time, remember, continue to grow, continue to love, and continue to be kind. I'll see y'all guys next time.